Good evening sa lahat ng Summoners. You're watching the Greener Premier League 2014 Summer Season. I am Sphere.
And I'm Jay.
We are about to watch the match between Team AHQ versus Team ng IGL. AHQ Fighters versus Team ng Insidious Gaming Legend. So kahapon nakita na laban sa pagitan ng Team IPT versus Team ng TPA. So sobrang laki ng difference na nangyari dito. Pero maya lamang 9 PM magkakaroon ng laban sa pagitan ng Team War Gods versus Team, if I'm not mistaken, it was against team ng, yun pa kalaban nila mamaya. Let's look at our schedule muna before we proceed sa ating picking phase. So yan, kanina nakita natin laban sa pagitan ng Team Saigon Jewers versus team ng Bangkok Titans, and then ngayon, AHQ Fighters versus team ng Insidious Gaming Legends. We have the match esports after this game versus team ng Insidious Gaming and we have, Rebirth, we have Wargas versus team ng AHQ Esports later on, pagdating ng 9 PM. So bago ang lahat mga kaibigan, game muna tayo ngayon between Team AHQ Fighter versus Team Insidious Gaming Legends. Let's proceed sa ating picking phase.
Alright, so on the blue side, of course, we'll have the AHQ Fighter, and on the purple side, it will be Insidious Gaming Legends. So the bans have been out already. We see here the Twisted Fate, Nidalee, and Cassin has been banned out from the AHQ Fighter, while from IGL, we see here that they've decided to ban out LeBlanc, Lee Sin, and Lulu.
Looking at the bans mga kaibigan, they're more on focus sa mga champions na merong burst damage, but not only the burst damage, but syempre yung potentially mobility champions. We have the Lee Sin, we have Twisted Fate, the Destiny from Twisted Fate dito, the LeBlanc, the burst damage coming from LeBlanc. We have Lulu as well. It can be very effective in the skirmishes in the later part of the game dito. We have Cassin as well na laging binaban since kahapon pa sa ating GPL dito, and Nidalee for somehow a poke potential dito against team ng AHQ.
Yes.
So looking at the bans mga kaibigan, most probably they're aware, ito yung mga champion na possible na pang counter din for their lineup dito. So which is very effective for their team.
Alright, so HQ goes ahead with picking out Gragas. Most likely we may see a Gragas top lane again, since the changes on Gragas has made him more of a bruiser type than an exploding or a high damage mage. Of course, he still has a lot of damage. Nonetheless, we'll have to see how AHQF or IHQ Fighter CCB will handle the Gragas if he does pick it in the top lane.
Yes, sa lahat ng di nakakalam mga kaibigan, at this moment, nasa 4.8 patch pa tayo. So we are not in the 4.9 patch kung saan nagkaroon na ng mga nerf for Kha'Zix and nerf for any champions na nakita natin sa no recent patch natin sa 4.9. So ngayon, we are in the tournament realm. So yun nga, so far ngayon yung mga patch na nangyari, yung kakatapos na patches ay hindi pa nangyayari up until now. So dito sa laban natin ngayon sa GPL.
Yes. Alright, so IGL Hanners will be picking up, I think the Jax will stay in the top here. And most likely, of course, we'll see at least in the jungle as well. So Equivocal will be holding on to that. HQ, Lantier, and Albis now are already deciding what champions they'll be picking for their side. Lantier might be opting to pick up his own champion as well already. Picking up the Kha'Zix, like you mentioned, Kha'Zix has not yet been nerfed in the 4.8 patch, so we can expect a lot of damage still coming out from the Kha'Zix, including the damage reduction on his ultimate. Now, Albis will pick up the support for HQ Fighter here, picking up the Thresh, a very deadly support. We've seen him time and time again how deadly his hooks can be in the game.
But having Kha'Zix, like what you've said kanina, we all know yung potential pa rin ni Kha'Zix being the assassin champion dito. Hindi pa rin nababawasan yung kanyang yung isolation damage ng kanyang Taster Fear.
Yes.
And yung initial damage dito kapag ginamit niya yun, yung kanyang Q. And andito pa rin yung reduced damage na 50% kapag ginamit niya yung kanyang Void Assault, kapag in-evolve niya kagad to. So sobrang kunat pa rin ni Kha'Zix once na he-use yung kanyang Void Assault in every teamfight na mangyayari against their opponent. And take note, hindi lang yun yung magic resist, but also the physical damage na manggagaling from any member of team ng IGL.
Yes. Alright, so IGL deciding to pick up Twitch and Morgana for their bot lane, leaving out their AP or their mid laner, which most likely will be an AP champion unless they go for an assassin like Zed. So far, the lineup coming from IGL is very gonna most likely be revolving around the Twitch, especially since we've got the Morgana and at least provide protection, including the Jax as well. HQ has already locked in Yasuo, and we'll most likely see him in the mid lane, depending on who IGL will pick up to face Yasuo in the mid lane. And of course, Corki is being hovered over on right now by HQ. We'll have to see if they stick with this AD carry in the HQ side.
Pero sige kung possible pa rin na magkaroon ulit ng body system for team ng AHQ Fighters dito. Though they have Kha'Zix once again for their jungler and they have Yasuo for the top lane most probably or possible in the mid lane kasi we have Gragas and Yasuo that can go both in the top lane and mid lane as well dito for their team. So it's all about kung sino yung magpo-proceed for the mid lane. If ever na mag-focus sa EP na build itong si Gragas, he can be very effective as well being an AP carry champion pero not that much like before na sobrang sakit ng burst damage niya. Ngayon, though meron siyang pagiging utility champion ito, meron siyang knock-up damage, meron siyang kaya niya maglakad every time na ginagamit niya yung kanyang Drunken Rage. So, unlike before, once na ginamit niya yung kanyang explosive gas, damage output once na ginamit niya yun, that can give initial damage to give a pressure against your opponent. Pero ngayon, hindi na siya ganun kasakit. So we'll see what might happen sa laban nila since they have the explosive gas, they have the death sentence, they have the flay. These three skills dito is enough for Yasuo to use yung kanyang the last breath.
Yes, and most likely the explosive cast will also help Kha'Zix isolate the champions they want. With the proper explosive cast, they can push the champion away from the rest of the team, and this will make AHQF fighter land here even the deadlier champion on that Kha'Zix since the isolation bonus damage, like you said, which is really overpowered at this point in time, be much more beneficial for HQ fighter.
But looking at the lineup of Team IGL, they have Jax, they have Elise, they have Orianna, they have Twitch, and Morgana. Two champion can use a shield. We have Orianna dito, yung kanyang E. We have also the spell shield from Morgana dito. So any disable na manggagaling from team of AHQ ay medyo manunal for a while kapag ginamit niyo yung kanyang spell shield. But once again, a duo bot lane, Twitch, Morgana versus Lucian and Thresh. And this is not unusual. Lagi natin nakikita to. So there's a high possibility that from team of AHQ fighters, magkakaroon sila na lane swap dito. Since they can't go against Twitch and Morgana dito, though possible naman silang manalo dito against Twitch and Morgana, I mean Morgana and Twitch, but the only problem na kaya nilang kakaharap nila dito ay yun nga, yung spell shield na magagaling kay Morgana. Sobrang pang hard counter si Morgana kay Thresh, but it all depends on how Thresh will proceed yung kanyang playstyle.
Yes, and I feel like the black shield coming from Morgana will not be able to negate as much magic damage as they wish, since the only magic damage, most of the magic damage will be coming probably from Gragas and maybe a little bit from Lucian if I'm not mistaken, and a little bit also from Thresh, but normally you'd like to use those black shields to negate like really heavy AP mage champions in the mid lane like LeBlanc and Fizz. But since they decided to go for an AD champion in the mid lane, which is Yasuo, this will basically the only benefit probably the black shield will have is, like you said, it will negate any knock-ups coming from the passive the skill of Yasuo and the other champions on the other side of IGL.
So yan mga kaibigan, let's go sa ating Summoner's Rift laban sa pagitan ng Team AHQ versus Team ng IGL. AHQ Fighters versus Team ng Insidious Gaming Legend.
Yes, alright, so we're into the Summer's Rift right now, and we're looking at the IGL. Looks like they will not be doing an early invade just yet. I don't see them grouping up together, although Morgana is heading to the top lane, probably to put down some wards in the red jungle before grouping up in the bottom lane if ever. And IGL or AHQ Fighter on the other hand are grouped together right now. They did not place any wards in their own jungle on the red golem side, and they're trying to catch somebody here in the red golem side of the IGL. But so far, like we said, as you can see here, the mini map, that no one from IGL or IGL, yes, is in that area, and there is a ward there. Now they saw the ward of HQ Fighter being dropped in the red golem area, so IGL is well aware of the location of the members of HQ Fighter right now, and we see another ward being placed down by HQ Fighter, and looks like they may go back to their own side red golem and maybe hoping to catch somebody from IGL out of position.
Yes, so far ngayon, as you can see, they dropped 2 wards dito for the for the red buff of team ng IGL, and I think this is one of the most effective way to see if ever not they will get the red buff first or getting any other buffs for your team or for their team, like stealing the red buff of your opponent dito. And since kung mapapansin mo, this ward ay medyo, yes, it's a vision ward. I mean, it's a sight ward, so it at around, I think 120 seconds or 3 minutes yung duration nito, or 2 minutes. So mas matagal siya compared to a normal trinket. So that they have the advantage dito of looking forward kung ano yung mga possible na maging gank dito mangyayari from team ng AHQ Fighters. But here comes the invade from team ng Insidious Gaming League, the lead legend. They're trying to get the first red buff of team AHQ Fighters dito.
Oh,
wow,
nice smite.
Nice smite from AHQ Lantier. That gave them a lot of advantage dito.
Well, luckily, Vocal didn't burn his smite there. If he smite too early there, he would have been one buff behind and lost his smite. But since he didn't do that, Vocal will be able to go back to his own side of the jungle and continue his jungle route the way he normally will. And we see here,
wow, dead sentence mga kaibigan from FY Serra for BBTY dito. BBTY taking a lot of damage. He was ignited but no, hindi pa gumagamit ng summoner spell dito. Here comes the exhaust from Zappy.
Zappy's in trouble here. Nice flash but not enough for him to escape.
From FRT dito. The Ignite managed to decrease the heal amount of that heal from Lucian kanina. I mean, from Twitch. So that didn't save Zappy in the bottom lane.
Yes, I did like the play Zappy was doing there in the bottom lane, but it was a little bit too aggressive. And since he missed his Dark Binding on the second time, this really cost him his life, yes.
Siguro nag-back na, dapat nag-back na lang sila after na nakita nila nag-miss yung kanyang Dark Binding dito. So that gave them the disadvantage in the bottom lane of winning against Lucian and Thresh. So for 1-0 score, CS 17 or 19 against 2 CS Twitch in the bottom lane.
Yeah, so 1k early gold lead for AHQ Fighter here, 1k gold lead over IGL right now, just basically mainly because of the first blood and the early jungle start of Kha'Zix since he won the Smite challenge in the red buff. Of course, that's delaying IGL a little bit in terms of gold, but surely once they clear out their wave, they will be able to catch up and go. So we'll have to see how IGL will play with this. They have to be very careful since HQ Fighter can make the first move now since they are ahead in gold.
Wow, this is very interesting. FCCB against Han in the top lane. So far, he has the advantage dito. When it comes to poking potential, parang advantage niya. While Albis in the mid lane, the previous top lane, or I think Albis was
the AD carry.
The AD carry of HQ main team before, or yung team 1 nila. But now, he is the mid carry of team HQ Fighters. FCCB in the top lane using Gragas. Somehow, he's dominating dito mga kaibigan. Here comes the Vocal, trying to gank the bottom lane. A miss Cocoon, unfortunately, since though walang ward doon sa bush na yun, they are not aware that Vocal is coming. Pero nakita nila dito, dahil medyo naging aggressive na ang team ng IGL na bottom lane. Zappy and BBTY is trying their best to shove down or give enough poke damage before Vocal reach the bottom lane. Para at least makabawi sila sana or magkaroon sila ng advantage kapag nagkaroon na ng skirmishes in the bottom lane.
That's right. Alright, so looking at the bottom lane here right now, you can see here because of the first kill, HQ Fighter bottom lane are very confident. They're doing everything they can to push IGL's bottom lane back as much as possible and tuloy-tuloy pagharas nila dun sa Morgana and Twitch in the bottom lane.
One thing na merong advantage dito sa FCCB against Han is mas lalo lumaki yung range nung kanyang first kill. Kung mapapansin mo, buong yung lugar mismo na tinatayuan ng kanyang mga minion. And take note, syempre mag-farm ka, so you have to come closer dun sa mga minion and get your CS. But since kitang-kita mo na dito yung barrel roll na manggagaling from Gragas, you have to distant away from that minion dito instead of getting the CS.
Yeah, so here we see Mr. Albis trying to lay down some wards on the side of IGL and trying to gain some vision from the movement of the jungler of IGL, and IGL's elite has already cleared most of the jungle camp in the top side, and Jax using his counter strike a little bit too early, I believe, here. And of course, because he wasn't able to get close enough, he wasn't able to use his leap strike onto Gragas to stun him with a full combo.
Yes, so we see both the champion and the top lane use their teleport, so for the next few minutes, walang makaka-teleport in the bottom lane to respond or in the mid lane dito to help their comrades in every team fight na mangyayari. So they have to stand up by themselves and make sure that they can win the laning phase dito.
Yes, and right now HQ Fighter are still holding on to the 1k gold lead they have over IGL right now. As you can see in the CS, Gragas has a slight minion advantage here in the top lane, while the mid lane Yasu also has this advantage.
Here comes the explosive kasi mga kaibigan, Han taking a lot of damage, a barrel roll as well. Wow, a good leap out that ward and a flash out as well. Managed to get away here in the top lane, and that gave Kha'Zix a bit of a disadvantage dito sa kanyang jungling route since malaki na wala sa kanya.
Yeah, so IGL Han a little bit lucky there, avoiding any certain death there with the Kha'Zix and the Gragas. He stunned Kha'Zix perfectly to allow him to, like you said, do his deep strike combo and flash away to safety here. Vera catching
DY taking a lot of damage. He used that heal, and I think he can get away here in the bottom lane. And yes, he does. But FY Serra got taken with that cocoon from Equivocal dito.
Oh,
wow!
Nice rappel from Equivocal. If he got caught there, that would have been very dangerous for him. Alright, so HQ Fighters bottom lane doing really well so far. Albis playing a lot of damage.
Albis against a level 7 Oriana in the mid lane. This is one of the main reason why you have to ban Yasuo kahit sa rank solo queue. Kapag umabot siya ng level 6, bukas hindi siya gumagamit ng mana, meron pa siyang shield dito or yung kanyang passive skill that could give him a shield once na gumamit siya ng skill or mag-initiate siya ng teamfight dito.
Yes, and he's very hard to really catch off because he can really dash through all the minions, especially if there's a large minion wave. It makes it even more harder to knock him down. Alright, so it looks like HQ Fighter are almost done with taking out this first tower, outer turret here in the bottom lane. But they decide not to make any risky moves here, and they're just continuing to freeze or farm the bottom lane. Han will go back to his lane. He just plays down a ward on the river just to check out if any junglers would be coming or if they gank him. And so far, he's been doing a really good job here. Although he's a little bit behind in CS, it's not so much compared to what you'd expect from a champion like Gragas who can harass him from range.
So right now, 1-0 pa rin ang score. Sobrang tagal ng ating early gaming phase. 9 minutes and 30 seconds. But yet, wala pa gaanong action na nangyayari. Wala pa gaanong ganks coming from the junglers.
This is actually the first game we've shoutcasted so far in this season that didn't have the unusual start of a 4-1 or a buddy system. It's back to the usual 1-1-2 laning system with the jungler, of course, in the jungle here. Of course, HQ Fighter still has that 1.4 gold lead right now.
Wow.
Slightly advanced. Lumalaking CS talaga ni Lucian here in the bottom lane. If you're about 30 CS more at least over the Twitch right now, and when you're facing something like this is when you realize that you probably should have done a lane swap early in the game, especially since they're now behind. I think this is really hugely because of that first blood that they were able to achieve all over Twitch here, that now they're playing very defensively.
Yes, good job for Yasuo. Just before he go home, kuha siya kagad ng kanyang static shiv. That could give
and that's
a lot of damage.
Yes, Yasuo with static shiv can basically gives him a huge burst in the damage here, and there we go. Yes, it connected. Oops. But Albis deciding not to use his ultimate just yet, and
could be very dangerous for him if ever na ginamit niya yung kanyang last breath doon, dahil malapit siya sa turret and meron pa siyang shockwave, meron pang skills nung si Oriana. And take note, he still have his ignite. Slayer can surely kill Yasuo before dying in the mid lane if ever nagamitin yung kanyang last breath once natamaan siya ng knockup damage.
Yes, alright, so IGL's bottom lane deciding to back away. Looks like Thresh will spot Elise here, but right now we're looking at some action here in the top lane. Elise, a nice Dark Binding from Zappy, but no follow-up.
For FRD here in the bottom lane. But yet, they have to disengage. It's like what Jay said. I think nagkaroon sila ng walang follow-up from any team member. Both the champion in the top and HQ Fighters. Sobrang laki ng damage na tinanggap nila coming from that turret dito. So I think, ever na pinilipan nila to, though mapatay nila si Han, possible na they can kill Han, but two champion, go down as well. Wow, explosive gas!
Yeah, Jax predicted it at the right time, was able to leap strike to a safer distance.
This FRD mga kaibigan never back down. He was exhausted. He's taking a lot of damage and he will go down. The box against BBTY. I think, wow, the ignite. Not enough for any member of the AHQ Fighters.
Vera will not be able to escape this for sure.
And here goes the teleport mga kaibigan. FCCB. Didn't go for Twitch. And here comes the sneaky for BBTY. What a turnaround for team AHQ Fighters dito. A shockwave connected to Albis, and yes, the ignite can kill one champion here. But wow, BBTY managed to get away here in the bottom lane, and in total, it's a 2 for 1, which came out pretty bad for Team AHQ Fighters.
Yeah. Nice flash and body slam onto from CCB. They're picking up a kill on Slayer.
And he can actually kill a vocal if ever na he forced himself to chase down FCCB dito, but it's a good idea for him to just back away in the bottom lane.
Yeah, so Han getting some free time alone with the minions this time, though he's now 30 CS behind. He should be able to pick up at least 1 or 2 waves before CCB will be able to join him in the lane. He'll probably be under the tower of Gragas here in the top lane, but right now HQ Fighter trying to get some gold back here, will try to take the dragon. Morgana putting down a ward will spot HQ Fighter, but of course the rest of the team are way too far to respond to this, and Lantier will clear out that ward just to make sure that they have control of the vision in the river.
Yes, very good job for team ng HQ Fighters. At this point of time, they got the first dragon of the game. 13-minute mark, almost 14. Not only they got first 2 turrets in the game of top and the bottom lane, almost there to get the first 2 turret as well here in the mid lane. So if ever na makuha nila to, lalong mag-snowball ang kanilang items. I'm pretty sure that they could have the advantage dito. Wow! That sentence connected very well from F5 Serra, but just in time with the spell shield from Morgana dito, he somehow managed to save Oriana from being immobilized from Thresh.
Alright, so looking at the action right now, we can see here that the tie is still 3-3, but HQ has a huge gold lead right now of about 2.5 gold, 2.5k gold lead over IGL right now, and this is mainly because of the CS advantage the top and bottom lane has over their lane counterpart. A blue steal attempt from HQ Fighter, but Equivocal was able to protect his own blue buff. Right now, HQ Fighter applying pressure all over the map here. They're trying to take objectives here. As you can hear, they're able to lay a little bit of damage in the middle turret right now, and this is basically the last outer middle turret for IGL here. So little by little, HQ Fighter is growing a slight lead over IGL. IGL has to respond to this. They need to take down at least 1 or 2 towers before HQ Fighter picks up another tower. If they do not do anything about this, definitely HQ Fighter will continue to snowball this game and pick up a win for themselves. Lantier picking up the blue buff for himself, not giving it over to Gragas or to Gragas most likely will be the only recipient of the blue buff, since like we know
the blue buff dito, though it's still effective for his champion getting that cooldown reduction, but I don't think it's worth for Albis if ever na siya kumuha. And
Albis trying to pick up some side minions here, almost picking up the large rate of IGL here in hand. A nice death is connecting to Equivocal.
Follow up with that dark passage. Equivocal versus 2 champion dito mga kaibigan. 3 champion of Team AHQ Fighters. Here comes the dash in from Albis, and the use of that Q Steel Tempest for his champion dito, and managed to get another kill in the top lane. 1-0 at this point of time. Here comes the first kill once again. And the last breath. A follow with the last breath. As you can see, Slayer have to use his shockwave, but not enough mga kaibigan. Wow, the box and death sentence from F5 Serra, though he died.
Yes, Albis connecting several knockups consecutively there, giving them a huge advantage over IGL. You see right now, HQ are really snowballing really hard.
FRD in the mid lane. I think he can use his third skill.
Whoa!
No good, since he have that Bloodthirster and his Phage for his champion. Blade of the Ruin King for Twitch was not enough to sustain FRD's damage power here in the mid lane.
Alright, so a little bit of slowdown now after picking up those several kills for HQ Fighter and objectives. The tower advantage is now, of course, still on HQ Fighter's side with 4 towers to none on IGL. IGL, I feel like, are slightly choking in this game. They're not picking up any objectives. They're basically, they have been playing defensively from the start of the game, and because of that, they have picked up a few kills, but not enough to impact their gold enough. As you can see here, the gold lead is blowing very favorable to HQ side right now. It's about almost 7k gold lead for HQ Fighter, and if IGL does not continue to does not start to take objectives, especially towers and dragons, HQ Fighter will get much stronger to the point that they won't be able to stop them anymore from closing out this game. DBTY looking not so strong yet. He already has the Blade of the Ruin King. His second item has not yet begun here, while Lucian already with the Bloodthirster and is starting to build probably a Trinity Force, since he's already picked up a Phage as his first item for that item, if ever.
Most probably will go for the Trinity Force next, but kind of unusual to see a Lucian that will go for the Zeal first before getting the Shin. Kasi usually after mo kumuha ng Phage, you will get the Shin, you will get the Zeal, and then go for Trinity Force. But since kinuha niya kagad yung kanyang item for attack speed, most probably will go for
Zeal
first
yes,
for getting the Shin dito. Well, we all know that Lucian is a mana-hungry champion talaga, sobra. So, well, in terms of sustaining power, it comes to his mana during the skirmishes dito or 1v1 against the AD carry, may lamang siya if ever 1v1 talaga. Talagang sumabay sa kanya yung kalaban niyang AD carry. But kapag naipag dumaan sa, dinaan ng kanyang kalaban dito sa kanyang sustained power or sustaining the damage output coming from Lucian, kailangan niya mag-survive kaagad dito or at least regenerate some of his mana for killing a champion. Once again, here comes the sentence, mga kaibigan, from F5 Serra, but they can't go in. There's the second tier turret for team of IGL. Wow, Shockwave! Tour champion got connected with that Shockwave dito. The box from HQ Fighters. What a play for F5 Serra dito, but they managed to pick up a 2-kill. Cool flash out from Teach. If ever natamaan siya ng Steel Tempest na yun from Albis, I'm pretty sure could at least go down, pero since cooldown na yung kanyang last breath, he didn't manage to pick up another kill here in the mid lane. Yes, I think they will get the Baron of the game.
I think HQ, yes. I think HQ are planning to take out this Baron. That almost everybody has some way of jumping over that wall there. Here, Gragas and Lucian just dashing through. Even the Kha'Zix can just jump over. Baron less than half HP right now. Another night factor. And Kha'Zix is jumping back into the Dragon Pit. A teleport coming down here.
Ito teleport, mga kaibigan. Ginamit na Ekibonga lang kanyang rappel dito. But he's taking a lot of damage. Napunta sa kanya ang target ni Baron. He managed to, he goes down here in the Baron. That is very unfortunate for Equivocal dito. And I think it's a bad play for his champion. But Han trying to stop the team IGL dito. Team HQ getting that Baron. But failed. And it's at 1-4-2 that team fight na nangyari kanina.
And a dragon as well. So losing Kha'Zix for that Baron, it wasn't not such a bad trade for them. Especially, actually it's not just 2 kills, they were able to pick up 2 kills prior to that, remember? So most of the members came back, like Kha'Zix decided to jump back into that Baron pit rather, to help out the rest of the team pick up the Baron. So
it's good play from team na AHQ Fighters dito. Now once na nakita nila si Elise na nag-rappel or once na nag-connect yung kanyang death sentence, itong death sentence si F5 Serra, they're not hesitating to initiate a team fight dito. And they managed to kill Morgana even though naka-spell shield siya doon. Mapapansin mo, Jay, tumama yung death sentence niya at naka-spell shield dito si Morgana. He still used that death sentence once again para mag-initiate and use that play to the boxer for his champion. And once na gumamit ng rappel dito si Elise to try and steal that Baron, nag-disengage kagad sila dito. And if that happened, the Baron focused more dito kay Equivocal instead of getting any other champion from team ng HQ Fighters. That gave them a lot of disadvantage sa nangyari team fight kanina.
that's right. Actually, Equivocal used to play for Singapore Sentinels, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, he is the team captain right now for IGL. So he's one of the most veteran players in the team here. As you can see, he is the jungler for Insidious Gaming Legends here, and going 1-2-1, unable to really make that many plays for his team just yet here. Lantier, of course, using the Kha'Zix, also not really that, don't really feel his presence that much just yet. Most of the kills are done by Mr. Albis here on that Yasuo there. You've seen how good he's been on the Yasuo, landing multiple knockups over and over on the members of IGL. So IGL have to be a little bit more careful not to get caught by those knockups coming from Albis.
I think as you can see, we have 2 longsword for Lucian dito. One could go for for Blade of the Ruin King, and the other longsword dito ay for Last Whisper. Well, we never know what might his lands at this point of time, though. Since they have the advantage dito, they have the difference. Sobrang laki ng lamang nila against team ng IGL. I think medyo mag-focus siya ng sobra sa pagiging damager instead of getting any other item dito like the Guardian Angel or item like yung kanyang Banshee's Veil or Banshee's Veil or Guardian Angel, kasi malabo naman na kumuha siya ng item katulad ng Spirit Visage dito.
Yeah, so HQ Fighter now really trying to pressure the members of IGL here in the mid lane. As you can see here, little by little, Lucian's damaging the tower there. About maybe a little bit more than 1/8 of the HP of the tower has been reduced here. Mr. Albis with a minion wave, CCB providing some protection for Mr. Albis. Albis making a short burst of the tower here. One last hit, CCB another
nice
tower.
explosive gas for team IGL dito to disengage in that team fight. So with that, na-zone out lahat ng member of team ng IGL dito, but nanganib ang buhay ni AHQF RD.
Nice death once again onto Equivocal. Of course, he did not follow up. The Black Shield did come in for any follow-up here. Sierra trying to catch somebody again, this time not connecting. Mr. Albis,
wow, just in
with the
time.
wind wall, yes.
That wind wall from Mr. Albis dito. But team IGL can't respond very well sa ganitong kasi performance ng team ng AHQ Fighters. And I think they can end this game.
Yeah,
as you can see, dokumpleto sila pareho, 5 vs 5. Sobrang laki talaga ng difference sa laban na ito.
Yeah, right now, HQ Fighter just
wow!
over
Equivocal. Mga kaibigan from Serra dito to Equivocal, almost there. Used that rappel just in time to disengage here in this team fight. And he managed to get away. With that, Serra was forced to burn his flash, his ignite dito in the box for his champion. Wow! You see that burst damage from RD. Zappy! Here comes the Steel Tempest and last breath from Albis dito. And double kill for Lucian. Equivol was about to go down. He used that rappel to disengage dito. And no minion for their opponent, so he can disengage. But TBTY against 3 champion of Team HQ Fire. Wow! They're on fire. Sobrang galing ngayon ng Team HQ Fighters dito. And they're about to end the game. I think it's another win for Team ng HQ Fighters. And yes, Nexus goes down. Congratulations Team HQ Fighters winning the game against team of the Insidious Gaming Legend.
That was a very fast game coming from HQ Fighter. Very well thought out. They were very careful with their pick. They were able to slowly build a gold lead over IGL by simple picks and objective race here. There wasn't really that much team fights. Of course, in the end, we saw IGL a little bit desperate to defend, but it just wasn't enough to stop the members of HQ Fighter from closing out the game.
I think IGL's plan all along ay sabayan nila ng farm dito ang team ng AHQ Fighters. They're trying their best to catch up sa farming phase, but as you can see in the early part of the game pa lang, laning phase pa lang, wala pang turret na mawawasak dito. Sobrang laki na ng lamang talaga ng AHQ Fighters. In terms of CS, in terms of gold difference dito, AHQ Fighters have a huge advantage during the game. And the only problem of Team IGL dito ay kung paano sila mananalo sa mga team fight in the near future. But the problem here ay sobrang nagawa ng paraan ng Team AHQ Fighters yung performance nila dito. As you can see, they are always sticking together. Sobrang lagi silang magkakasama. They have Thresh. Always, they have Lucian as well dito. Lantier, 115 score. Though hindi siya ganun na nakapag-contribute sa mga teamfight na nangyari, yung kanyang pag-responde sa mga ganks dito, AHQ fighter Mr. Albis, he did a pretty good job in the mid lane dito, shutting down Slayer. Slayer can't do anything against Yasuo in the mid lane. Once na umuwi siya after he took yung kanyang static shift, pagbalik niya dito sa laning phase, he can surely kill the Slayer dito. So Slayer can't do anything in the teamfight na nangyari.
Yeah, and they were basically just outplayed in all the lanes. Every lane was winning on HQ Fighter side. Albis had a strong advantage over Slayer, who was able to pick up so many kills early on and assists as well. Same with Lucian. Lucian was just bullying Twitch and Morgana in the bottom lane. You saw how hard BBTY and Zappy tried to avoid the combo of Lucian hitting them, but was unable to stop the push coming from Lucian. And same with the top lane. Gragas did a good job of keeping Jax at bay. Jax was not able to farm really any items, as you can see at the end of the game. The only item Jax was able to complete really was the Trinity Force. And we know Jax doesn't get his ball rolling until he gets his at least mid of the Rune King. So as you can see there, just with the items and the great push or lane wins coming from HQ Fighter, they simply outplayed IGL straight up.
Yes, I think that is the main thing that happened here, outplayed.
Yes.
So again mga kaibigan, thank you very much for watching match between Team AHQ Fighters versus Team Insidious Gaming Legend. You're watching the Garena Premier League 2014 Summer Season. I'm Sphere.
And I'm Jay.
Let's see kung ano mangyayari mamaya. Laban ulit sa pagitan ng team. I think we have the next game. So let's see mo natin schedule.
We're just gonna have a short break and we'll be back with Maki Esports versus going against Insidious Gaming Rebirth. And then after that, of course, we'll have War Gods versus HQ.
Yan. So thank you very much once again mga kaibigan. We'll be right back after a few minute break. Stay tuned na kayo dyan.